way through there either. Yeah. Looks like they actually blocked off a lot of the playable area from Dishonored 1. Oh, but they set up a bar. Do witches drink? Like they drink potions and all, but do they drink spirits? Oh, spirits. Alright, that would be good. They probably do, because there's like a wordplay there. But I'll admit I'm not the most well-versed in witch stuff.
Next time I'll try it with waxing gibbous. And if that doesn't do it, then I've got no idea how to fix it.
I'll leave the bone charm for now.
The clockwork thing is still out there somewhere. Got to listen for it coming.
Wait, someone's in here? Like a person who's not a witch? Huh.
I'll be damned.
Ah, a scream?
I'll fill my with your hair. You should have stayed.
Okay. Doing poor.
No.
That's 2 down.
Monster. Catch me if you can.
Alright, how about this? Oh! Does that teleport with you? It does not. Whew! So, there's like a survivor in here, huh? How do I get access to him? Do I have to go from the bottom up? That easy, huh? Hey. What? Okay. I thought I'd be able to talk to you. Oh well.
I didn't do anything to you.
I know you didn't. Can I talk to you, please? NPCs in this game can get like that sometimes. The civilian ones. Might as well progress. I powered up that elevator, so I've decided I'm going to use it anyways. Even if I have another way in. Besides, aren't elevator rides just exciting? Especially these rickety old ones. Where it's like a cage. Oh, don't worry about it. Here we go. Seriously? There's a gravehound in this thing?
Who are you?
Oh, howdy. Yeah, I've never used that before. Well, if these are blocked off, what happens if I go here? Nothing. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Maybe the next floor will be different. Royal Protector's office. Ooh, a little grim. All right, throne room it is. So this is something I don't really get. And they don't exactly go out of their way to explain this to you at the beginning of the game. The throne room... Oh, excuse me.
Die at my hands.
Alright. Just interrupted me to tell me that. Alright. The throne room in Dunwall Tower is on the roof. Isn't that super weird? The throne room's on the roof. You can't exactly tell because there's no windows in the throne room when you visit it at the beginning of the game. Why is the throne... Isn't it... The throne room is for, like, you know, receiving messengers and information and guests and stuff. You make him go all the way up the roof? Like, what, do they have to take the elevator? How busy is that elevator on any given day? It's so weird. Then again, I guess a throne room in this kind of society, what is this, the 1800s? Well, Dishonored's version of 1800s. I guess it's mostly for, you know, symbolic purposes anyways. Ooh, nice try, Delilah. You forgot to close this window.
What has Delilah done to my throne?
Well, nothing explicit. Just put some binds around it. It's kind of a thing. I wonder if I have to interact with that. Oh. I didn't realize she was right there. I missed her. So you just kind of chill out in the throne room all day, huh? What do I do in this situation? Because, do I just shoot her now? No. I can use a gun. Use the heart against Delilah Copperspoon. Or craft a corrupt rune. I'm a tad confused myself. This is her painting, right? This is the big reality-bending painting? Mm-hmm. No, not what I meant to do. Nothing. I'm just gonna go up to her with the heart. Screw it. Hey, what's up? Oh! I think I accidentally started like a boss battle.
You brought me back my spirit.
Follow me, dear Emily, and see how I will reshape all things.
Huh? Oh, okay. Painting magic starting now. Oh! Oh! Corvo! You're still here. Yeah, let me put this
If I
extra
change the
corrupt
number of
rune.
corrupt runes attached to the throne, it should turn Delilah's painting against her.
Okay. Place the rune on the throne. What's the next step? Do I go into the painting? I won't go in yet. Because there's still more of the first level I want to check out over here. One last bit of detail. Because remember how we non-lethally took out Ramsey at the beginning there? I want to see... Yeah, check it out.
Is this Ramsey?
Got him. I guess she turned him to stone. Not much else going on in this room. Just wanted to show off that. Just double checking. Follow Delilah into the painting. It's hard to tell which is the lethal and which is the non-lethal route. Do I enter anyways? The world as it should
So
be.
this is the world she dreams about.
It's very bright. Oh, wait, I'm standing in the painting lights. Oh, it's still very bright. And the throne room's outside on the roof now. So, what, do I neutralize her? Damn it, out of those. I don't get this. What is this master plan? Oh. I see. I remember this now. She has these clones kind of lying around. She used these against the fight with Dowd back in the day.
Why shouldn't my people love their empress? All that was taken from me, in return, I will take back.
There's a lot of these. How many are there exactly? I want to take care of all of them before I actually fight the big Delilah.
My name, formed on their tongues, passing across their lips.
Alright. Huh? Oh, okay, I was gonna say, did I accidentally kill the real one?
Die here in Dunwall Tower, never seen the next dawn.
Oh.
Dunwall will feed on your guts tonight.
Ah, okay, I should just choke her out. I'm trying to do the kick move. Whoa! Elden Ring. Alright, let's give it a shot. Go on, attack me. Ow! Not what I meant. Yep. Bet you wish you could teleport out of this choke.
Delilah on the throne. The painting should trap her in her own fantasy world.
Wait. What? I thought the throne's over here. Eh, whatever. Alright.
You wanted to rule a world of your own, Delilah. So be it.
I don't get what this does. I mean, it's magic, so by nature it's kind of hard to understand. It's just some weird bullshit, right?
At last, what I've always deserved. My justice. Now,
What?
what's always been marred and distorted will be perfect.
Well, I don't get it.
So long.
Does she not realize that she was already in the painting?
Flesh, worship me.
What? Alright, so she's trapped in the fantasy world of her own creation? We should probably burn this painting. I don't know what the hell that was. What? Okay, whatever. First of all, I think it's strange that you're allowed to non-lethally eliminate Delilah, seeing as how when Dowd canonically non-lethally eliminated Delilah at the end of the Brigmore Witches, that was the reason why she was able to come back. But I guess we don't know that explicitly. And yeah, sure, go for a run where you don't kill anyone. She's locked in the painting forever. Again, like I said, we should probably burn this painting. And then it's like, oh, but Corvo, he's still, like, turned into stone. What do we do about that? You know what we do about that? You're gonna love this. He just kinda unpetrifies.
What happened?
We just touch him.
I'll
The
explain.
power of love. I don't know. It's magic. And then it hard cuts to that. Oh, I killed everybody. There was only one painting and I missed it. Captain's quarters. Yada yada yada. Search of the... Okay. In the Coven's wake. Address the survivors near Dunwall Tower of the street speaker system. Saving your father. Interestingly enough, you can choose to not save him. I don't know what you do in that situation. I think you just go to the throne and sit down. And it's like a darker ending sort of deal. But I'm kind of tired of playing through this level anyway, so I'm not going to bother with all that. Show me the credits, baby. Or the epilogue, at least. Dishonored 1 had a pretty good epilogue.
And so a man born with the
Yeah, it was like this.
took his seat in Karnaca, ruling with empathy for those not born in a palace. The people were surprised by this sudden turn, but did not question their good fortune. In Dunwall, without ever realizing it, Delilah passed into an imagined world where her father's promises were fulfilled and her subjects would love her forever, as she sailed the ocean with a great fleet and trekked across the Pendician wastes. While in the true capital, Emily the Just, Emily the Clever, ruled for decades over a prosperous, mended empire with Corvo Atana by her side. In his day,
Oh, the music hard cutting with every scene. That's not
hurling
great.
the empire into a more sophisticated age. He dallied with nobles, wayward artists, and great inventors alike, drinking in all that life could offer. Leaving Dunwall for the last time, he headed to the cold north, contented at last, on a final voyage to take him home. There are things that never change, no matter how hard you try. Questions you must answer. As Megan Foster faded from the world, Billy Lurk stepped from her shadow, setting out to discover her truest self, and seeking the closest thing she'd ever known to family.
Now, okay, this is the final credits in the song. I actually quite like this song. Alright, so here we are. We did it, guys. We beat Dishonored 2. Low chaos. In terms of credits, I know this is kind of a weird critique. These are kind of boring looking credits. Like, you can't see anything. It's basically the same as just having the white text on a black screen, but for some reason it's not scrolling. The camera's panning to different groups of people. Really, I like this song. I like all the songs. It's by the same people who did the whatchamacallit. You know the performers that you met 3 times throughout the levels? Same people. Someone got interested in who those performers were, tried looking them up. I think they found out who the female singer was, but the male singer for this performer duo apparently wanted to remain anonymous, so he refused to be credited in the game. That's kind of strange. Not sure why. But, I got sidetracked. Dishonored 2, everybody. You want to hear my final thoughts on it? Because a lot of it has kind of spilled out. I'm not the kind who gives letter grades. I'm not the kind who gives, like, out of 10 grades. The best way I can explain Dishonored 2 is with an analogy. Here's the analogy. You ready? I've thought about this. I thought about it a year ago. I've been thinking about it since. When it comes to Dishonored 2, compared to Dishonored 1, of course. It's the sequel. Why wouldn't we compare it? I would rather play Dishonored 1 twice than play Dishonored 2 once. I know that probably isn't the easiest to wrap your head around in terms of like a recommendation. I think Dishonored 1 is overall a better game. Alright, the gameplay is very similar, okay? The only difference you could probably have here is like the level designs, and it's easier to knock people out now. There's new gadgets. But if the gameplay is the same and the game's still fun, it has the same systems, the only thing we can really compare it against is like the level design and the plot. The plot in this game is lame and not good. Well, like, it sounds stupid when I say it like that. Also, the song runs out and then it's just like some ambient music for the rest of the credits. Don't worry about that. Dishonored 1's story was way more interesting. Dishonored 2's story is kind of weird and split up on account of how you can choose between playing Emily or Corvo at the beginning of the game, and it just doesn't make sense to play as Corvo, because, I mean, Emily's a new character. Like, I know that you met her when she was a child, but grown-up Emily is a new character. She's on the front of the box, okay? Why would you even have it an option to just cut her out of the game entirely by playing as Corvo at the beginning? When you play as Corvo, when you're like, alright, choose who you play, Emily just gets turned into stone and she's gone. Like, I feel like the story was written around Emily. Why is there even an option? That's like a whole other can of worms. I don't know. Maybe appealing to players who liked the first game, or they were skeptical if people wanted to play a woman. There's reasons. We don't know all the reasons, but there's reasons. Dishonored 2 just doesn't feel as good. There, that's a good summary. I mentioned this near the end of the Brigmore Witches Let's Play. If you go back to like the last 2 episodes, I definitely mention it there about how I was playing a bit of Dishonored 2 in preparation for doing the recording of it once I was done with the Brigmore Witches. And I made a good point, and I don't remember my exact words. I recently rewatched the video. I said the kind of tactile feeling, the feeling of moving from place to place, of sneaking around, it's overall worse in Dishonored 2, and it's in a way that I can't explain. It might have something to do with the way the levels are designed. I think for most of Dishonored 2, it's way too easy to just bypass all the enemies because you can just blink or far reach to a chandelier and then just hop from chandelier to chandelier. There's so many chandeliers in the game. It feels like a lot of the levels, you barely have to interact with them if you don't want to. And I'm all for player expression and playing your way. That's a big part of Dishonored as a series, as like a type of game. But on occasion, I think it overdoes it. And there are parts of Dishonored 2 where it feels like there's a lot of extraneous stuff. It feels like it's fluff. It feels like it didn't need to be there. And there are 2 different ways to do something. There's an easy way and a hard way. I mean, as a player, as a video game player, if the hard way isn't like super interesting, then why even do it the hard way? I mean, you just take the easy way every time. That's a critique about the levels and all that. About the story, you make your own decisions. I've already said my bunch. I think that Dishonored 2 probably would have been a bit better if they didn't bother with keeping it in the whole kind of narrative family, if you will. if it had been something else in some other part, because they have a whole world established. They don't just have Dunwall and Karnaca. They've got, like, Tivia, they got Morley, they got, well, I don't know the other ones, but there's a whole world map. They could have had it set anywhere else, and it would have been fine. You know, you could even, the title is Dishonored, maybe this guy's Dishonored in some other way, but they stuck with having Corvo and Emily be kind of a continuation of the series, and when they were like, okay, who's the villain, and they were like, how about Delilah, the villain from, you could say the series of DLCs, but really the last DLC of Dishonored 1, who was already defeated at the end of it. Oh, she came back, and I just don't think it was the great idea. Why like go, okay, DLC antagonist, you're promoted. You are now the antagonist of the sequel. It should have been someone else. I think they shouldn't have, especially they shouldn't have chosen such an emphasis on witchcraft, because witches and spells is already such an incredibly confusing part of this whole setting. Like, what are the boundaries of magic? Because Delilah can do anything with a painting at this point. She can rewrite reality with it, had that gone through. They should have done something else. There was intrigue in Dishonored 1. There was a revenge story. There was a bit of a mystery. There was a betrayal kind of at the 3/4 mark. The Flooded District is my favorite level in that game. I adore the Flooded District. And that's right where the plot kind of takes a big horseshoe turn. And it... Dishonored 1, it felt so nice, I want to say. There was an interesting thing about how the story and the visuals and the gameplay all just kind of work together. There's a lot more about Dishonored 1 that I find memorable, which is a crazy thing to say because of all the interesting levels in Dishonored 2. The Clockwork Mansion is a great level. It's wonderful. It's probably one of the best levels made of the decade of when Dishonored 2 came out. But other levels are not as interesting. Like I said, I can't really put my finger on why for a lot of them, but they just don't feel as good. Dishonored 1, their levels kind of... I can't put into words. It's something that you'd have to play to understand. There was an interesting feel about Dishonored 1. I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but the credits are still going, so... Oh, Dishonored fan community, that's me. I think they're wrapping up right now, but... Dishonored 1 at times kind of felt like a Source game, which is kind of a weird thing to say. I say that as a compliment. Dishonored 2 feels so strange by comparison. Maybe it's the new engine. The way that you move, the way that you sneak... I got no more words. Oh, other than, you know, if it was down to Blink versus Far Reach, Blink's way more satisfying. Blink's way better. Far Reach, I like the slingshot stuff. I like being able to pull people from far away. That's neat. In terms of movement, as your main movement tool, Blink, 100%. Every day. Right. So, that wraps it up. But as I mentioned at the beginning, we have Dishonored Death of the Outsider. That'll be the next Let's Play. That'll be the finale of the whole series for the time being. You can probably tell by the title. It's got a pretty substantial ending. Death of the Outsider is, as far as I know, the last game project of the whole Dishonored series that they worked on before going on this kind of self-imposed hiatus. There were some books. There was a book between Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2 that kind of explained the build-up between the two of them. And there's some books that take place after Death of the Outsider. And I will get to those when I get to those. I have not read them. But I have a general idea of how they work. And I have my own opinions on that. Dishonored 2, everybody! Michael's probably got a lot to say in the comments. I adore Michael's comments. My buddy Arkrim, I guess that's the name I'll use. I don't know if I can use his real name in these videos. He hasn't given me permission. You watch all my videos. I appreciate that about you. I'd also appreciate it if you left a comment every once in a while, just so I know that, you know, you're there. That seems a bit selfish, but, you know, it'd be nice just to have more than one person in the comments. I feel Michael's getting a bit lonely down there. And Brady, you better watch these two. That's never happening. That's never happening. All right, Dishonored 2, everybody. Not as good as the first one. Like I said, I'd play Dishonored 1 twice, then play Dishonored 2 once. Good night.